quiet seaside town, an evil laid to rest centuries ago, has risen. An abandoned fortress deep in the swamp holds a secret that could save the village or destroy it. Now, a band of adventurers sets out to dig up the wounds of the past and bring the light of day to the roots of ruin. This is Tabletop Gold.
Hello, friends, and welcome to Tabletop Gold, The Roots of Ruin, episode 119. Welcome to the show. I'm Lars, Casteen. I'm glad to have you here. I hope you're enjoying whatever you're doing as you listen to podcasts. Maybe you're doing the laundry. Maybe you're driving a car. That's probably it. I hope you're enjoying either one of those things you're doing. I'm joined today
Mopping
by...
the kitchen.
Robbing the kitchen.
Mopping the kitchen.
Mopping the kitchen. Okay. I'm joined today by Armat Humphreys.
Hello. Good that time.
Zoe Chernicoff.
Hello, good that time.
David the Tin Man Chernicoff.
Good that time.
And Robin Lange.
Good this time. And your time. And that time.
Yes. Good all of those times to you. Next episode, it's going to be our first episode of October. We're going to do the pumpkin spice episode. We're all very excited about that.
We are pumpkin.
We're pumpkin on the episode. We may be pumpkin or pumped out on the various pumpkin spice options that we'll be talking about. But as a way of leading up to that, we are talking just about food broadly in the weeks leading up to that episode. And what's up, David? What did I do?
No, you didn't do anything. It made me realize, I wonder, like, what proportion of these upfront things that we do are about food in one way or another.
Yeah, they're usually about food.
A lot.
And is that
we have
because
certain proclivities as a team.
Tabletop eats. Am I right?
I was going to say, I found myself thinking about this recently, and I feel like it's a different kind of tabletop, right?
Absolutely. It's right there in the title of the show.
Yeah.
Smorgasbord rainbow.
We're always at the tabletop, baby.
I realized at some point, years and years and years ago, that like most of the time when you're in a group of people and you end up talking about food for an extended period, what's happening is that everyone is hungry.
And just not able to give voice to that.
Just hasn't figured it out. Like, it just seems really interesting to like really break down the best nachos you've ever had. But it's just, you're just hungry.
That's so funny. I want to keep track of that now to see if that's
yeah. Oh,
if that
definitely.
winds up proving out to be true.
Keep an eye out. I mean, sometimes it's also fun to really get into it with your favorite nachos ever or whatever. But I would say, 8 times out of 10, at least, it's just your, your unconscious is trying to tell you something. Anyway, I'm wondering now if we just all record hungry all the time. It hadn't occurred to me until right now.
You definitely got me going with that R steak thing. The last episode, I dove deep, and that's a fantastic subreddit. Let me tell you,
it is a truly fantastic subreddit, and you don't need to be on it for long to start really wanting steak.
Okay. So, thinking of food stuff. So, I am in back to school mode right now. And one thing we always have to start the year with, just like, you always have to start meetings with new hires and things like, but with new class, icebreakers.
Yes.
And I came across this icebreaker, which it was basically this idea, but presented as an icebreaker game, which broke my brain. And it's basically presenting this theory that all foods can be categorized as one of three things: a soup, a salad, or a sandwich. Now, we all know, think something like a hot dog. That is a hot dog sandwich. Like it or not, John Hodgman.
Yeah, I have long felt that a hot dog in a bun is a hot dog sandwich, and just the fact that we call it a hot dog is laziness. It's like a colloquial laziness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So all foods could be categorized as soup, salad, or sandwich.
Okay.
So I thought we could do a couple foods and see what we think. Now let's start with steak.
Yeah, that was the first thing I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a reason for why I categorize it a certain way, according to some rules that I found online for like how to categorize things using this. But I want to see what you guys have first.
Oh, we don't get any of the rules. We're just making up our own
So it's
rules?
just soup, salad, or sandwich. And that's the thing, because everyone's going to have different definitions of each one.
Well, it's, liquids are soups, things between bread are sandwiches, and salads are everything else. So
it
it's
looks like we broke this categorization. Great.
Any other questions?
Yeah,
well, so what would a steak be?
A steak, I guess, is wet, so it's a soup.
I think I'm with Lars, because David, in my mind, the one thing about a salad is that it's multiple ingredients. You cannot, by definition, have a single ingredient salad, I feel. But like, obviously, this is nonsense because a steak is none of these things. I just want to acknowledge that, but I'm applying the
No, I
triumvirate.
I appreciate, as they like to say in my workplace, the push. But it just feels like a really homogenous salad to me. Like a meat, it's a meat salad.
I mean, if you think about it, it's a steak salad, hold the lettuce.
No, but a steak salad is a chopped up steak pieces. Right.
It's also a
so
steak
hold
sandwich,
the lettuce and
hold
don't
the
chop
bread.
the steak.
It's also a steak sandwich, hold the bread, and a steak soup, hold the blending it.
Or hold the broth. Right?
Yeah.
You can do anything, hold the broth. You can hold the broth. You could have a salad, could be a soup, hold the broth. A sandwich could be a soup, hold the broth.
I mean, when I try to hold the broth, it just goes right through my fingers.
I guess that's why you can't do that. Damn it, this categorization is too good.
Okay. What about enchiladas?
Wait, no, what's the answer, Robin?
Oh, we're done with steak? Oh, there is no one answer. That's the beauty of this.
What are you talking about? That's the beauty of this. It's a nightmare.
I could see it being a salad.
I would
if
say
it
that
had
steak is a salad.
Peppercorn sauce, like.
Does that turn it into a soup or a salad, though?
Well, salads have dressings.
That's a good.
Because it's a dressing. The sauce is a dressing.
It's steak
it could,
dressing.
David's right, it could also be like the broth.
Okay, Robin, when you pitched this idea to us, you sent like a web page that had like a scientific breakdown of how this is a good thing. Did we just break it? Like, I'm not convinced.
No,
am I unconvinced
actually,
because I don't get it, or am I unconvinced because it's bad?
No, so the website I sent you
Yeah.
actually breaks it as well, which is kind of fascinating. So I sent you to a GitHub website, which we can put in the show notes, I think.
Yeah.
And the GitHub website essentially breaks it down using this long scientific explanation and charts and graphs and everything on why everything can be categorized as a salad.
Okay.
That even the things that are soups and sandwiches would still be salads based on different definitions of what a salad is. So you could even argue that a cheeseburger is a salad.
Does this ludicrous framework
Well, aren't all
include
sandwiches
anything
salads in a way?
that isn't a salad? Because if there is nothing that isn't a salad, then the category salad is meaningless.
Or
Well,
all other
soup.
categories are meaningless.
Babe, there's soup.
Well, all categories are meaningless.
So this website, I'm trying to find it again because I closed the link.
It's saladtheory.github.io is what it is.
I feel like we're basically getting into a dry versus wet thing here, right? If everything is salad, but there's soup, then it's is it dry or is it wet? Which is also making me think of a dear friend of ours
Yes.
who is a doctor who at some point in medical school was feeling disdainful about dermatology for whatever reason and was on a dermatology rotation and summarized the whole thing as what they teach you in dermatology. If it's dry, make it wet. If it's wet, make it dry.
Okay.
So that's now what I'm thinking with the soup salad.
So a
dichotomy.
dermatologist, when they get a new patient, they're like, is this a salad or is this a soup that I'm dealing with right now?
And then they want to make it the other. They want to switch it around.
Usually the complaint is an excess of either moisture or dryness. And so the prescription is, the obverse. Which is how I feel whenever I get a salad. I say to myself, this isn't enough of a soup.
Wait, David, which do you dislike more, soup or salad?
That's great.
I strongly prefer salads.
Yeah, I was
to
going to
soup.
say.
You don't like soups?
Really?
Not a soup.
Although, could you argue tomato soup is a salad?
What are we doing?
No, it's
What
wet.
is this?
It's wet.
But that's
Technically, it's a fruit soup.
So this website that I sent you guys gets down into essentially a chart, which is like an alignment chart.
Yeah.
And defines it in different ways. Is whether like a salad must have a classic salad ingredients or a salad can have literally any edible substances as ingredients. That's where you get into things like pink stuff, which is considered a dessert salad out in the Midwest, right?
Pink
because
stuff?
there's desserts that are, yeah, where it's essentially
Isn't that
like
what they make chicken
Jell-O.
nuggets out of?
Yeah, like are we talking about pink slime like they make chicken?
No,
yeah,
no.
exactly.
It's like an ambrosia salad. So you get pink stuff, orange stuff, lime stuff.
It's like, have you ever heard of corn
Why isn't
smut?
it green stuff?
I'm starting to feel like I don't know anything about food.
Hold on.
I like don't know what we're
Anything.
talking
I don't
about.
know
What is a
anything
gooey
about
duck?
anything.
Is a gooey duck a salad?
This website
I
is
did not expect to make y'all so mad.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is triggering something for me that gets triggered every once in a while. Whenever I try to read, yeah, that's true. And I don't get angry that often, but I am getting angry right now. This is something that happens anytime I read anything written in the field of philosophy. Anytime somebody writes about like X philosopher said Y thing, I can read 2 words and then my brain shuts down. I've never been able to parse a single philosophical argument. I've never understood anything that anybody talking about anything regarding to this field of study is saying, period. And that anger that I have when I'm like, wait a minute, am I a dummy, is getting triggered by saladtheory.github.io. I'm looking at this thing and it's talking about, like, I can recognize the nouns. Like, I know what pizza is.
That's good.
But
That's a good
nothing
start.
else that it's saying is something that my
Is it a
brain is
salad?
capable of interpreting. Explicit
Frustrating.
exclusions. And then a quote, a salad may not contain bread, etc., end quote. This condition is not a complete definition unto it. Like, okay, I'm out. What are we talking about?
A Caesar salad is not a salad because it has croutons. According to that definition.
Well,
What about panzanella? No, I disagree with that. I'm not into
either
that.
I'm dumb.
As soon as you put the croutons in, it becomes a salad sandwich.
Okay. All right. I don't know what any of this is. We're moving on. It's thank you, Robin.
Time to go have a devil kill us all.
Lars, don't even then go to the link I just sent you, which was to cuberule.com,
Okay,
which
I'm
is
going
a
to
whole nother food
cuberule.com.
classification, which I'll start it again with that question. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Okay, this has big pictures on it. I know what this thing is talking about.
And
This
thank
is
you, New
fine.
York State, for making a hot dog a sandwich.
All right. This is a nightmare. I don't like food anymore. I'm done.
We're only eating those little protein packs that like astronauts
Yeah.
do. You just
I'm Huel from now on.
So you're pumped out on philosophy.
Philosophy, I'm all the way pumped out.
I'm sorry for making your life worse.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's all good. Thank you, Robin. Let's move on to another topic. This one brings me great joy. These are podcast reviews. People support the show. They tell these reviewing robots that they like our show. And one of these websites that you can review our podcast on is called Podcast Addict. We got this review a little while ago from Bosco Bear, who lets us know. They say that it's a complete myth that birds abandon their young if they smell like humans. Otherwise, great podcast. Because that's a topic that we got into a little while ago. We said that birds won't go near a baby bird if you touch it. And apparently Bosco Bear
messed that up.
Well, we're all learning together, which I'm happy for. And
learning and growing.
Learning and growing. Yes.
Yeah.
So
And
Bosco Bear,
classifying.
thank you for that review. Thank you for elucidating us on that particular misbelief that we were afflicted by. And now we know. Then I'm going to go out there and I'm going to touch all kinds of wild animals and nobody can tell me not to.
Oh no.
Oh, I
This is
wouldn't
not the
say
way this is-
that necessarily.
That would make them salads.
Is a baby bird
Oh.
a salad or a sandwich or a soup?
Oh.
Uh,
Salad. Potentially, because, you got like bone, you got fat.
Yep,
you
classic
got-
salad ingredients.
or with the feathers, make it a sandwich because it's wrapped.
Classic sandwich ingredient, a feather.
Thanks. I hate it.
Okay.
Yeah, really.
Okay, let's move on. Let's get into it. Let's play our game.
so hyped for this.
Your initial exploration of the prison level deep underground in the Abomination vaults has given you some insights into the unsubtle character of the devils that have lived here since the days of Belcora Haravex. The hallways all bristle with infernal energy, red light pouring out of sigils, festooning the large stones forming each passageway. One particularly large door bears the biggest pentagram you've ever seen, and a magical lock waiting for a 5-pointed amulet. This tendency towards garishness has extended to the situation you currently find yourselves in. A sextet of flesh-warped grothlets, all wearing military-looking sashes across their bodies, are being magically commanded by a bearded devil wearing a glowing red bracelet. It appears you've interrupted some sort of training exercise, and this devil sergeant has commanded their mindless soldiers in training to attack. So, to set the scene a little bit before we jump straight into it, we are in a much larger area than we usually are for combats like this. You're in a large round room. You've been in rooms like this the entire way through your exploration of Gauntlet. This is similar to, if not identical, to the round rooms that you have found this blue negative energy in every single floor. You're a short hallway, a wide but short hallway, from a large octagonal room that is brimming with these flesh-warped creatures and also this devil at the lead. The devil has just started marching themselves and the grothlets towards you to attack, having seen you from the far end of this hallway. And as I mentioned before, there is a glimmering blue light faintly dancing on the floor itself. So as these grothlets and this devil start marching towards you in formation, what do you say we roll for initiative? Yeah. Roll for initiative. I'm going to take 25 minutes rolling for all 7 of these combatants that I'm responsible for.
That is a lot of dice.
It's a lot of dice.
Luck be a grothlet tonight.
I'm saying Ao has been around the corner, like she didn't go all the way out into the room. Cool if I roll stealth?
That's fine with me. I think that they saw you because you were walking into this room, but if Ao was avoiding notice the entire time, there's certainly several places that you could be. No problem. So, has everybody rolled for initiative? Let's start with Armat. How did Isthan do?
He did pretty good. He got a 26.
Okay. How did Ao do as she was hiding around this corner?
Being a sneaky sneak, she got a 30.
Okay. Very quick. How's Mag doing?
It's a 28 for Mag, which is it was an 18 on the die. Pretty good roll. It's making me realize I should probably do something to boost my initiative because zoinks.
Yeah, well, I mean, perception is one of those things that you don't get to control. It's like a weird guardrail in this game.
Yeah.
Canny Acumen can help with that, though. If you take the background feat Canny Acumen, you can boost your perception, I think, to expert, and then at 17 it goes to master. So if you're below expert proficiency, that could help.
Yeah. Mag has expert proficiency. I think it's just some. I don't know. Mag doesn't have a lot of wisdom. Who's to say?
I should always be going after everybody else anyway, but I just like to get a good roll and then choose to do that on my own.
Well, actually, I have some interesting news for you that I will get back to you on as soon as I talk to Robin. Robin, how did Trill do?
It was an ideal roll for Trill. Trill got 31.
Yes.
Nice. Fantastic. So that thing I was about to say to you, David, is that all 4 of you are going at the beginning of this combat encounter. So you can rearrange this however you want to if some of you want to delay. So let's say that the story there is that you step into this room, you see these grothlets wearing these sashes, doing a training exercise, as this bearded devil is barking at them like,
and step to the left. Okay, good. Now to the right.
As these grothlets move back and forth, shuffling in formation, as this bracelet glows eerily red. And so you see them, but then a moment later, the hairs on the back of this drill sergeant stand on end. They turn around, they see you, and they lead the attack. So you've got, all 4 of you have a chance to respond before they start moving. So let's do it. Let's get into round 1. To set the scene here, again, I mentioned these are 2 rooms separated by a hallway. We're kicking this combat off with much more distance between everybody else. There is between Trill and the devil, there's 30 feet. Between Trill and the furthest Grothlet, there's 45 feet. Usually these combats are happening in a 3 by 3 foot cube. So potentially some additional tactics may be called for here. Let's see, as it is now.
Like movement.
Yeah.
Like
you might have to move.
Like using actions to move.
Let's see what happens. It's Trill's turn.
You know what? I'm going to do recall knowledge first.
Sure. On what?
Let's start with the devil.
Okay, the devil, that's going to be a religion check to recall knowledge about them. Or a relevant lore, if you got that.
I could ask if it could be occultism, but I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, I think that these guys are not... I'm looking for things in their deal that are related to occultism, and I'm having trouble figuring out what I could possibly tell you.
No, it's fine. I know it's religion. Okay, I did a secret roll. So
yeah, so you know that this is a Barbazu. You've seen them a few times. What would you like to know about them? I can try to recap things that you've seen. You know that they inflict this infernal wound. You know that they are able to reposition people that they attack with their glaive. You know that they can make people sick by wriggling their iron filamented beard around in their face. So what do you think?
I would love to know either what their weaknesses are or what their immunities are. I'm also like still you totally messed with me.
Yes.
On the other floor.
Yes.
Thinking about what is and isn't immune to mental effects.
Yes.
So now I'm thinking about that a lot.
I'm going to let you know. This dude's talking. He's definitely not immune to mental effects.
Okay. So generally, like, if they're talking, they're not immune.
Yeah, except for the Sugathis, because the Sugathis have special brains from
And if they're
another
not
place.
a talker, like, then they're likely immune to mental because they have no
that's
brain.
I don't think that's metagaming. That's how I approach my actual life. If I run into something and it's just kind of going, blah, then I wonder if my frightening music is going to have any impact on them. So, sorry. So low saves. I'll give you the lowest saves. They have 2 low saves. You look at this creature. It seems you see there he's bulky. He's got this big tail swishing around behind him. He's covered in this gross, like tetanus laden armor. Reflex is not a good save. And then you look at the way that he is struggling to bark orders at a group of grothlets. Doesn't seem so smart. Will is also not a good save.
Okay, so fortitude's the good save. Okay. So let's then, because I've got all those grothlets, and according to what you were saying, following that logic, Dirge of Doom's going to have no impact on them. So let's go ahead and do Lingering Competent to inspire courage for my team.
Yay!
Whee!
Thank you, Trill.
And that is a success at 32.
All right, 3 rounds of Inspire Courage as Trill's music reverberates around this large circular chamber, and the bearded devil on the far end of the room screams out,
Ah!
Trill's unimpressed.
He's so out of tune.
Trill's going to go ahead. Actually, Heo and Mag have been having really good rolls. So Trill's going to actually get ready to support Isthin with a performance check to kind of continue to embolden him in any attacks that he makes.
all right, we'll get that check when it comes time for Isthin to make an attack. And in the meantime,
Trill's turn.
it is Ao's turn. Ao, hiding around the corner from all of these creatures, the circular edge of this wall protecting her. What is she going to do?
What is the general throw range? I'm not there yet, but I just want to know so that I have that info. Like, when you throw something, how far do you throw it?
Each thing has its own throwable range. Like, alchemical stuff tends to have a 20-foot range.
I see. So range increment is the throwable range?
Yeah, exactly. So a range increment is if you're within that increment, then you get your full attack bonus. Every time you go past that increment or multiples of that increment, you take an additional -2 penalty to your attack.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, to start, none of that matters. So I'm glad we've talked about it.
Cool.
It was going to fire off 2 quick arrows from Chompers. She's sort of right behind Trill, just around the corner in this round room they've come into, and she fires them at the devil.
Okay.
Just to see what she can do.
From your position, you can see just a tiny bit of that devil, so they're going to get a +4 to their armor class because they have greater cover against you. So you might need to move more out into the open if you don't want. If that sounds bad to you.
Won't that get rid of my stealth?
No,
weakness?
because the way that surprise attack works for rogues, if you roll higher than them, they are surprised to see you and they are flat-footed to you.
Oh, all right. Then Ao is going to sneak up the hallway. So she's going to go about halfway up the hallway towards the devil and then fire off these 2.
There are 4 of them!
They yell to nobody since Grothlets don't speak any language.
First roll is a 22. Oh, shit, I did it with the kukri. Sorry. Well, it would have been the same roll. 22.
22 hits only because you've got the element of surprise in this situation.
That is... All right, that's 14 damage.
Okay. That damage is somewhat impeded by the hard armor and the tough skin of this Barbazu. It seems that they resist a little bit of physical damage.
Interesting. And I think not having time to fully process that, Ao fires one more arrow at our friend. That is a 29 to hit.
And that's almost a critical.
Ooh.
Oh, and that does 23 points of damage. Much better damage roll there.
Woo.
So
Nice.
Ao steps forward, thwip, 2 just like razor sharp, quick strikes from Chompers. And there's something I want to ask you to do, and I want to ask Trill to do, because I missed it earlier. The sound of these piteous moans from these Grothlets is significant. If both of you would not mind, I would love it if you were to give me this will save. You've seen these creatures before, like you know that this is not a hard save, but if you were to roll particularly poorly, it might be a problem for you.
Control counter performance since it's an auditory trigger.
Sure, if you'd like to, no problem. Go ahead and give me a performance check to counterperform.
Awesome.
That's a 37.
So if you'd like to, you can take your will save, or you can take a 37.
Take that 37, thanks.
I'll take that 37. That feels higher to me, which I think is better.
Yeah,
right?
it's better. It's like a critical success. That's a critical success. It's a DC 17 that we're trying to beat here. So
Oh, wow.
So not
So
all,
the fight is over.
The fight's
They die.
over. They're all done. So just to retcon that a little bit, on Trill's turn, she would have been able to use her reaction to do a counter performance. So Trill is able to stop this piteous moan from being of any import to any of you. So we're going to bypass that check moving forward.
Woohoo!
That's it for Ao's turn. It is now Mag's turn as Ao cuts this devil down by nearly half of their hit points. Ao stepping forward and bypassing a lot of that physical resistance and having a massive impact on this combat to start off with. What is Mag going to do?
As Mag starts to move, Istin's going to speak up and be like, "Wait, Mag, I've got something for you."
Mag grasps the handle of the haft of her maul a little bit more tightly in anticipation of Istin's next move.
All right, and with that, it is now Istin's turn.
Cool. Istin is going to cast Stone Skin on Mag since they're within touch range. So that's one of his new level 4 spells. And you can drag that on to Mag. It gives her resistance 5 to all physical damage except adamantine.
Dang.
So this is fun because that's like kind of what's going on
Agreed.
with this devil. Like the devil sort of has supernaturally tough skin and is resisting damage. And suddenly Mag's skin, thanks to Isthen's magic, is similarly impervious to
A clash.
certain kinds of damage.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a
Clash
Marvel
the
fight.
Titans. Totally. It's our armor in time. That's what I say.
So with that spell, as Mag's skin becomes hardened like stone, it is Isthen's got one more action.
Yeah, and he's going to drop into his Arcane Cascade stance, which, because that was an abjuration spell, will give him force damage, which is pretty
All
rad.
right. Some force magic starts floating around Isthen, and it is now a newly toughened Magdaruna's turn.
Well, thanks, Isthen. Thanks, Trill. So Mag, newly emboldened by Trill and hardened by... I love this. We should all have more spells that do cool stuff to my character. So I'm going to start by raging. Rage.
Quick question, David. What does that
Yes.
sound like?
Oh. Oh, well, I guess Mag is also feeling very grateful for all these wonderful things that her friends have done. So it'd probably be like something like, ah!
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The extra syllable in there, I could understand.
Oh, cool. That's unintended. And then with my last actions, Mag's going to do a sudden charge
Hell yeah.
into the thick of the fray. She's going to position herself directly behind the devil to set up a future flank. That makes her flanked. She is right between this bearded devil and its phalanx of grothlets.
It makes her flanked, and it also raises the question of, do I give this bearded devil their reaction and attack of opportunity before their turn? And I think the way
Yeah.
that I narrated it, it's like you walked into the room, you saw them, they turned and they saw you. I think that I narrated that in such a way that they do not have reactions yet. So you managed to bypass this Barbazu, no problem, and slip around the far side as they fumble to get this rust-covered glaive like up to strike at you, and it's just a second too late.
All right, very generous. It would have seemed reasonable to me either way.
I mean, to
But
me,
I will-
it's like we told the story of this side of the combat didn't see you until it was
Right.
too late. So
Right.
if it's too late, it's too late. You know what I mean?
Totally. And now I am telling the story of a 23 to hit.
The 23 is going to hit.
Nice.
As Mag, again, to reinforce this idea, listens to Trill's counter performance and avoids the impact of the piteous moans from the grothlets.
That is a crazy damage roll, or a 25 damage.
25. Again, Mag feels her maul thud into the Barbazu, not doing as much damage as she wants to have done.
Yep. And that's Mag's turn.
Okay, so as these grothlets start moving in unison, this glowing band around the Barbazu's wrist, sending out like a sort of ominous glow that gets mirrored in the eyes of these pained-looking grothlets. They start moving with an intentionality and a sense of purpose that you have not seen these particular creatures do before. What that means first is that the grothlet that is flanking with Mag takes advantage of the flanking that it is getting and reaches out a claw to strike. It's an 11 on the die, a 22 to hit.
And that does not hit.
Okay, I'm going to have some trouble hitting you. I'm going to fly through these turns, y'all. Here comes another strike from the grothlet. That one is a fumble card. A fumble card because you...
I think the bracelet, he should check it seems like it's a little faulty.
Okay, so the fumble deck, we all know, is this new deck that I made. I look at the suit that I draw on a deck of cards, and then I look at the face value. The suit that I just drew is clubs. That means that something below the grothlets, and the value is a king, reduces the speed by 5 feet. So that means that the grothlet's sludgy appendages that it's moving on get gummed up. Like the mental control being exerted on the grothlet causes it to trip and stumble, which is just as well because its last action is that it with intent moves to the other side of Mag to set up a flank for another grothlet. And it does so by stepping so as to not trigger an attack of opportunity as the Barbazu grits its teeth, looks at Mag and says,
"You're done now. It's over, baby."
Another grothlet sludges its way up to Mag to set up a flank with the Barbazu. Let's go. Let's make a claw strike. Yes!
Oh, come on.
You gotta draw.
Wow, a lot of swings here.
Nice. This is a slashing crit called Momentum. This grothlet is going to get a +2 bonus to circumstance bonus to attack rolls until the end of their next turn because they pick up some great momentum. Here's a critical damage from the grothlet. Not a great damage roll. That's 22 points of damage to Mag.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to try that one more time with a +2 to its attack roll. Things have changed for me in my life for once.
No. Congratulations.
I need this so badly.
It only took an army of 6 grothlets.
It only took a really messed up situation. That is a 28 for their second strike.
Yes, that hits.
Yes, it did. It did hit. Mag is going to take terrible damage roll, 9 points of damage.
I think we can handle that.
Does some of this not go through, though, because of Mag's
Stone skin?
stone skin?
That is true.
Yes, absolutely.
That is true. Mag is resisting a few of these hits. It is time for another grothlet to go. They come from a far side of the battlefield, meaning that they are going to move in such a way that will provoke an attack of opportunity from Mag as they try to sludge up next to her.
Nah, I'm going to wait and try to bash the devil again.
Okay. The grothlet that just slid into position is going to reach out a hand, a claw, to strike at her. Mag, flat-footed due to being surrounded.
Yeah.
That misses with a 15. That grothlet is going to then step to the far side of Mag to help set up another flank, and it is now the turn of the Barbazu.
They're doing even better than I thought they would do. Great work, everybody. Great work.
And
That voice.
they're going to slash out at Mag with their disgusting glaive. It is a 16 on the die, a 31 to hit.
Yeah, for sure. That definitely hits.
So, this is bad news because Mag starts bleeding, this infernal bleed that needs a DC 20 flat check to stop.
Yikes.
And as she starts bleeding from the Barbazu's disgusting wound, she's also going to take 20 points of damage, a combination of slashing and evil damage.
All right, well, looks like only 15 goes through on account of the stone skin.
Yeah, that's stone skin coming through strong. Let's throw a hero point at
Great
Istin.
call. Yeah.
Yeah, that stone skin was brilliant. Let her get in there.
And the next thing that's going to happen is that this devil is going to swing one more time with the glaive. That worked out well enough that they're going to try it one more time against Mag. That time it's a 19 on the die for 29 to hit.
And 29 is going to hit, yeah.
All right, more damage coming Mag's way as she gets sliced into twice. 17 damage.
And so she'll take 12.
And then the devil reaches forward and says,
I'm asking seriously. How do you like this?
They reach forward and wriggle their beard around in Mag's face.
so gross. I love it.
Does that trigger an attack of opportunity?
No. And this is a special thing that they do. They're going without multiple attack penalty on this beard. That's a 3 on the die.
The beard.
An 18 to hit with the beard.
18 is not going to do it. So maybe the beard just sails right on by Mag's braid. The two briefly flirt and then part ways.
Oh, hold still.
And the devil starts yelling at his beard.
I hate you. You've never done what I wanted you to do. Unlike my beautiful soldiers.
And the Barbazu snaps his fingers and another Grothlet starts moving in to surround Mag. This one's going to shift in to flank with the last Grothlet that just attacked Mag. Here comes a claw strike. Mag is again flanked, surrounded on all sides. 17 on the die.
Yeah, 17 will hit.
And Mag gets another bit of damage. Terrible, a very good for me damage roll. 17 more points of damage.
Okay.
I can't believe how good Isthin's stone skin was. When you cast that, I was like, that's dumb. And then it turns out it's awesome. So, way to go.
Well, I wondered, I was like, this is going to be kind of a quick encounter, right?
Yeah, I didn't think that a lot of these hits would happen, but they are. The Grothlet,
I think it's saved 25 for 30 points of damage so far.
Yes,
for one action. Holy crap!
For a spell, it's tremendous. The next strike from that Grothlet is a 14 to hit.
That's a critical miss.
Okay, so another Grothlet starts moving and steps in as the Barbazu is sort of directing traffic. It's like at the airport with the cones. They're directing the Grothlets in to lay siege to Mag. Here comes a claw strike against Mag. It's a 16 on the die. I think that's going to hit. I'm also rolling extremely well. Mag gets hit for 10 more points of damage.
Sure. So was this? Didn't this Grothlet have to do more than just stride into place like that? This last one is an attack of opportunity. No.
I've been having them step to avoid that. This next one that's going, I think, might need to get into your zone, but maybe not actually.
That's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah. So that hit did 10 points of damage, and then there's another swing that misses with a 12 total.
And that's another critical miss.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't have much that I can do with this last one in order to get flat-footed on you. So they're just gonna sludge right past Mag to try to get into Ao's face. That's going to require 2 move actions as they skirt just past the range of Mag's maul, and they're going to swing their claw out towards Ao. The 3 on the die, that's not going to do it. That's a 14 to hit.
That does not land.
And now, other people get to play the game, because I'm done playing with all my toys
all
for half an hour.
150 of your characters.
That's right. It is now the top of round 2, and here's the situation. Isthin and Trill are still a safe distance away in this round chamber that you came into this area in. Mag is beset on all sides. It's like the Incredible Hulk or something, right? Being overtaken by just a swarm of lower level enemies, but they are chipping away at Mag and overwhelming her. She is struggling to find the action necessary. She is bleeding as well. And Ao and the last Grothlet are taking up the mid position in this hallway, joining these 2 rooms together.
So, Lars, you're telling me that these Grothlets have figured out how to get blood from a stone?
Oh,
I'm fired. I'll see you all
Blood
later.
from a stone. What's the stone?
Oh, that's like a
stone
saying.
skin.
Stone skin.
The stone skin. Fantastic. It's Trill's turn.
Okay, so Trill's going to start by moving.
Okay.
Trill's going to take a couple steps forward. Not too many, because Trill really doesn't like it when the Grothlets explode on her. It's really gross, guys. It's really gross.
Sure.
It's true. I love it.
And then, for Trill's next action, she's going to electric arc these motherfuckers.
Oh. Which particular
So-
MRFers are you going to be electric arcing?
She's going to first hit the Barbazu, because I think
Okay.
once we take him out, that's going to help a lot. And then the unharmed Grothlet just to the right of Barbazu as well.
So electricity arcs out towards these two targets, and they both try to make a reflex save. And here we go. The Barbazu tries to dodge out of the way. 8 on the die. That's not good. That is going to fail. And the Grothlet is most likely going to fail too. A 2 on the die. My guess is that's a critical failure by a million. That's a 7.
That is definitely a critical failure. So here's the damage roll. The damage roll is a 17. What dice came up? I didn't actually get to see. Does it tell me what the actual
It does.
dice
You
were?
can click on them. You got 4 D4s. 4, 3, 4, and 1.
4, 3, 4, and 1. Okay.
Very good.
Very
good
good.
roll,
Very happy
yeah.
with that. I was hoping for one other number maybe to show up in there for a funsy
I see what you're doing.
other thing, but that's great. So that's 17 points of electricity damage.
That kills the Barbazu. The Barbazu shakes around, electrocutes, and collapses in front of Mag. The Grothlet that takes double damage is pretty badly injured, but still up.
Ooh.
And
Hefty
as
boy.
Trill finishes up,
Someone grab the bracelet from him!
It's interesting.
and that's
I
Trill's
plan.
turn.
I plan to.
Okay, Trill, massive turn, knocks the drill sergeant down. The moment that the drill sergeant falls over, you see that these Grothlets are now not acting the same way they were before. The tactical mind seems to have left them, and it is now Ao's turn.
Ao's going to spend one turn recalling knowledge on the bracelet to see if she's thinking, should she dart in? Should she try to kill these things? But she wants to know more about the bracelet.
Yeah, I'll let you do that from a distance. Typically, that'd be like a 10-minute ID, but I think it's fun to do that right now, so let's just do it. Go ahead and give me one of the skill checks I just put in chat. It's any of the magic skills, Arcana, Nature, Occultism, or Religion.
All right.
Okay. Ao has no clue of what this is, but does, I think, get the like you can understand from context clues that this controls these creatures in some way.
Ao is Ao, and she's nothing if not an agent of chaos. So she spends an action running in to, she's, I guess, effectively flanking the body of the Barbazu, the dead body of the Barbazu with Mag, and she reaches down with her last action and tries to arrest or take the bracelet off of the wrist.
Yeah, so you rip this bracelet off, and I'll give you as a freebie here. I'll let you put the bracelet on.
Oh, love that. All right.
So you're now wearing this bracelet.
Mag, I want to acknowledge she could have helped you a lot more, but that's just not who she is.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just keep getting pummeled on 5 sides.
Well, they don't
by
know what
these
to do,
enemies.
right? They're going to kind of just raw.
They don't know what to do. They're kind of just going, rah. I'm putting the wind at Zoe's sails a lot on this turn because I think that what she's doing is cool. That's kind of the vibe right now. But Ao sees this band wrap around her wrist and start to glow red. And you get the sense that if you wanted to, you could spend 3 actions on your turn to try to command one of these Grothlets and make them under your control.
So did he have like 150 turns? Oh, I guess they were already under his control.
Yeah, and yes, correct. It's now Isthen's turn as Ao snaps this bracelet onto her arm. What is Isthen going to do?
So, right off the bat, he's going to stride twice to run in with Mag. And he's going to end up just to Mag's southwest, the adjacent to her. And with his last action, he's going to use his spinning staff focus spell to swirl his staff above his head and make 2 lightning quick strikes against 2 of the Grothlets, which will be the ones that are currently flanking Mag.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? One will be the one flanking Mag, and one will be the badly injured one to Mag's southeast. 27 and 19.
Okay, the 27 easily hits. The 19 just hits only because of the Inspire Courage.
Whoop,
Oh,
whoop.
awesome. Thank you, Trill. So the first one I'll say is for the badly injured one. 14 points of damage.
And that nearly kills the Grothlet. The Grothlet's somehow still up.
Wow. 19 points of damage to the other one.
So 19 points of damage. Istin runs up, force magic surrounding him. Thwip, thwip, 2 quick strikes from range with the reach of his staff. And it is now Mag's turn. Mag, the situation is a little bit different than it was when last your turn occurred. As these Grothlets are starting to fall, this Barbazu has fallen, but you have this infernal wound still going, blood running down your face. What are you going to do?
I guess there's one of them that's super wobbly.
Yes.
So let's start there. Oh, terrible roll. It's a 21?
That'll do it.
Oh, okie dokie.
All right.
Well, that's
Great news.
Cool. All right, that's 22 damage.
Yeah, so that absolutely is enough to kill that Grothlet, which then starts 30-foot emanation of goop comes out. And I need everyone to make this fortitude save, please.
Fort save.
Okay. Mag, what did you roll?
I critically failed that, and I'm going to use a hero point and re-roll it because I'm not interested in living that life.
I'll point out that we're going to get 6 of them to explode on us.
I know, so I'll just can I critically fail this slightly later in the fight, I guess.
That's fair.
Okay, how did Ao do?
Ao got a 27.
Okay, that passes. How did Trill do?
Trill got a 26.
Okay, how did Istin do? That also passes.
Istin also managed to roll a critical failure with a 1 on the die.
Oh my
and-
gosh. The two of us standing right next to this thing just
getting
totally
it
unprepared.
All in your
Yeah.
mouth. Your mouth is wide open.
Oh, God.
That's what you get when you're constantly screaming, Mag.
Yeah.
Ah!
Are you going to do a hero point on that one, Armat?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So then, David, you're re-rolling. How did you do on that re-roll?
I critically succeeded that
Okay.
time.
Okay, so what that means is Istin critically fails, meaning he's going to take double of 2/6 acid damage. That is a nasty damage roll. That is 11 points, so that's going to be doubled to 22, and Istin
Nice.
immediately becomes sickened too,
Oh.
as he starts feeling awful due to the sheer tonnage of Grothlet juice that has entered into his open mouth.
That's way too much juice for me. Oh, it's in the back of my throat.
Mag has two more actions on her turn.
She'll just retch twice.
Okay. For sympathy.
We're
Rich.
gonna, yeah, exactly. We're gonna keep going clockwise. That's a 2 on the die, which I don't imagine is gonna do
No,
it.
that's a miss, sadly.
Yeah, we'll try another swipe at that same Grothlet north of Istin. It's a big map. 10 on the die. Will a 17 work?
A 17 is not gonna do it. So
Oh
Mag
my God.
manages to explode one of these Grothlets, misses twice.
If I end up unconscious 5 hit points at a time, I'm gonna be so annoyed.
At the end of Mag's turn, you're gonna take 3 points of bleed damage, and please give me a flat check to see if you are going to stop bleeding from this infernal wound.
It's an 11, so I keep going.
Keep going. So these Grothlets are now just sort of acting on instinct. It's going to swing a claw at Mag first. Mag, still flanking Mag. 4 on the die, a 15 to hit.
15 is not enough. No.
Okay, and they're just going to keep swinging. That's an 18 to hit for the second strike.
Also not good enough.
And they are like, they're like, I can't hit Mag, so they're going to swing at Istin now. A 10 on the die for a 13 to hit.
Not going to do it.
Okay, so now a Grothlet that is so far unharmed is going to dogpile on to Mag. We're going to start off with a claw as it claws at Mag. Just flurry of claw strikes at Mag. That was a 26.
Yeah, 26 will... Mag's AC is now 24 when she's raging.
Okay.
So 26 is going to do it.
So that is going to slash into Mag as she's just overwhelmed by the tonnage of hits. 14 more points of damage.
Okay.
The next swing at a map 4 is a 25 to hit. That was an 18 on the die.
Wow, yep, that's sure.
So that's 11 more points of damage. This stone skin doing unbelievable work
Yeah.
to protect Mag.
It's not quite the only reason I'm still up, but it's very close.
And it's going to be the only reason, I think,
for sure.
pretty soon.
Absolutely.
This Grothlet is too dumb to move away from Mag, so they're just going to swing with a map 8. That's a 12.
Crit miss. Yeah, crit miss.
Okay.
Sorry.
The next Grothlet is going to go as Mag continues to take the hits. And we're just going to swing. I'm just going to swing 3 claw strikes, and you're going to tell me which, if any, of them hit.
I sure will.
These are the numbers as strike after strike after strike comes out. 23, 17, and 5.
Miss, critical miss.
Okay, 3 misses from the Grothlets. As another Grothlet goes, this one is flanking Mag. Here are 3 strikes again. 19, 17, 9.
Miss, critical miss.
Okay, so another just flurry of strikes from these Grothlets.
Yeah, and I'm imagining, like, as all of this is happening, these Grothlets all around her who are flurrying out with their claws, and all of them are just, these claws are just glancing off of the magically enhanced skin.
Absolutely.
And each time Mag whips around to that Grothlet and shrieks in its face.
So just screaming, reverberating through this enormous octagonal chamber. The Grothlet near Ao is going to start swinging at her. That is a 26 to hit.
That will hit.
Which is going to do 15 points of damage to Ao.
Wow.
They're going to swing at Ao one more time. That's a terrible roll on the d20, a 15 to hit. And this Grothlet is, again, acting without strategy now that its trainer is gone. That's a 7 to hit.
Also not going to do it.
Not going to do it. 1 hit onto Ao. Ao gets slashed into by these claws, and we're now at the top of round 3. It is Trill's turn. Trill just sees a full-on brawl about 12 feet away from her. What is she going to do?
Well, Trill's pretty annoyed that these guys keep smacking around her friends. So let's just get some magic missile out here. But I'm out of my level 3 spell slot, so I got to burn a level 4 spell slot for this guy.
A gold-plated magic missile. Let's go.
Yeah.
The magicest missile.
Yes.
Let's do that at level 4.
None more
All 3
magic.
actions.
2 magic, 2 missile.
I'm going to go for...
Magic missile Tokyo Drift.
Oh my God.
I would watch that. I would watch the hell out of that.
That sounds pretty good, actually.
I actually have 6 missiles, so I can send this all around, can I?
You can.
Okay, you know what? Everyone's gonna get a missile. You get a missile. You get a missile. And then the one that's the one that's on the right side of Mag, I'm gonna send 2 at that one.
I think Ao would see Trill gearing up and she'd say, not this one, not this motherfucker. This
so you don't want me to get the one in front of you?
Yeah.
I'll leave that one then. Okay, so the other 4, so it's just the other 4.
When it kills me in a moment, I'll be sorry I did this, but I did go out swearing.
That's where, the chaos bites back.
Yeah, that's right. It's not always a great strategy.
That's a lot of dice.
So that was a lot of dice.
A lot of dice. I'm just gonna so tell me the total damage that you rolled, and I'm just gonna put a bunch of damage on everybody.
Yeah, because it wouldn't let me separate between all the Grothlets.
Sure.
So it's 22 damage in total.
All right. So I'm just typing numbers into a thing, and I think I'm getting them right. But the end result is that magic is flying around the room as a swarm of missiles descends onto the Grothlets, and they're just as they are all slammed into by these darts of force energy, aside from the one standing in front of Ao.
Yep, and that's Trill's turn.
Okay. As those magic missiles land, it is now Ao's turn.
The one in front of Ao has been going last, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
She looks at it and she goes, "Not so fast, you fucker." And she uses her bracelet to, she intuiting what it does to take over its mind.
Yes, the unharmed one that you've been saving from Trill, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Grothlet pet.
Based on this item, it looks like I need to make a will save, so I'm going to do that right now. Oh. Okay, so just so the audience knows, this thing is something called a drover's band. And again, we're kind of fudging it to get it into this fight because it's my prerogative.
Why not?
Okay. But
Rule of cool.
the deal is that you have to target a mindless creature. They have to make a will save. And depending on the outcome of their save, various things happen. This creature, I just rolled a 1 on the d20 on this will save, meaning that this creature is going to be controlled by AO for an hour. It won't do anything self-destructive, but because it's a critical failure, it is now following AO around for a day.
I think we're all going to have some fun with this.
Oh, yes. That's brilliant.
And the way that I'm going to try to do that is to give you ownership of the thing. I don't know. I'm going to work on that when I'm not super active on this. But AO spends all 3 actions. This bracelet flares to life, and you are now controlling this Grothlet with the bracelet.
Okay.
Delightful.
This is amazing. This is beautiful.
Is it an ally for purposes of flanking? Like if I send it into flank, is it?
Let's, in the spirit of, for right now, for this combat encounter, let's say yes, and then I'll check it out later.
Okay.
It is now, as AO takes control of the Grothlet, it is now Isthin's turn.
All right. So, Isthin is going to spend 1 action to retch. So I need to make a fortitude save, right? To try and clear some of this sickened.
That's correct.
11 on the die for a 22.
So that's a success. You clear 1 level of sickened, and you're now only sickened 1.
Awesome. And then Isthin is going to cast Electric Arc at the 2 Grothlets currently flanking Mag.
Okay. Electricity bursts out, targeting these 2 Grothlets, and they both make reflex saves. And here they go.
So much electric arc.
One of them rolls a 22, and one of them rolls an 8.
22 just saves, I think, because I'm sickened, so all my DCs are dropped by 1. So that sucks. But I think the other's a crit fail.
The other's a crit fail. Yeah, go ahead and roll damage. So one of them is going to take half damage, one of them is going to take double damage.
So one will take 7, and the other will take 28.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Isthin laying the damage out and clearing his pipes at the same time. It is now Mag's turn. Mag, again, bleeding.
Yes, right. I will bleed slightly. Okay, it's going to end up looking almost identical to what happened last time. I'm going to start by hitting the Grothlet to my right.
Grothlet to the right of me, Grothlet to the left, here I am.
Yeah.
Stuck in the middle.
Stuck in a dungeon with you.
Someone get these motherfucking Grothlets out of this
Stuck
motherfucking
in
room.
Atari with you.
Oh, come on. It's a 2 on the die. It's a 19.
19 to hit is going to hit because of Inspire Courage.
Hey!
Nice.
Okay.
The turn you just took is ridiculous. You were so mad. And now now it's all gravy, baby.
Yeah. That is 27 damage to the Grothlet to my east.
27 to the eastern Grothlet is a big strike from the maul. Let's see if it's enough to knock it down. It is. It blows up. Here's a fortitude save. Everybody, please make said save, including Trill, who is pretty far away.
Still within 30 feet. Darn it.
Yep. Let's go down the line. How did everybody do? Starting with AO.
22.
Okay.
29 for Mag.
Okay.
25 for Isthin.
Okay.
Trill hates Grothlet gunk. Trill tried to stay away, but no. Trill still rolled a 15.
Okay, that 15 is the only fail. The rest of you either succeed or critically succeed, meaning Trill gets burned into for 5 points of acid damage and is now sickened 1. I have now added a Grothlet that is owned by Zoe to the initiative tracker. So there you go. There's Zoe's Grothlet on the initiative. And that's going to be, you own that now. You can just treat it like it's yours if you'd like to.
Like the familiar I never had.
That's right. So Mag strikes down.
You could send it into the woods to get Jarl Mesman's wolf.
This is good.
It has a full day to do it.
Definitely coming to Crow's Cask with us.
All right. So having just squelched the second of these things surrounding her, Mag will turn back to the one to her west. This is the one she was trying to take a crack at the end of her last turn. And so now that is an 8 on the die for a 20.
That'll hit also.
Here's some damage from that. That is 28 damage. 28
points of damage to the Grothlet, and it is also dead. It blows up. Let's get a fortitude save, everybody. Stop me if you've heard this one before. A less good single from the Smiths, if you recall their career. Okay, let's run down the list, starting with AO. How did everybody
24.
do? 23 for Mag.
As Trill's dry heaving in the back corner, she manages to bend down to avoid it because she ends up with a success at 22.
Right, if things are coming out, they can't go in.
31 for us.
Okay, so all of you either succeed or critically succeed. And does Mag have one more action?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not even going to bother getting cute and setting up flanks and stuff. I'm just going to keep going clockwise here.
Remember, there's always Zoe's Grothlet.
And that's a 10 on the die, but it's with all the map, it's only a 17 to hit.
It's close, but it doesn't quite hit. A wild swing. If I did camera things on this show, I don't do camera moves, but it'll be like the camera is mounted to Mag's maul as it moves and slams into Grothlet after Grothlet as she moves in a circle.
Absolutely. Yes.
Awesome.
It is now one of those Grothlet's turns. Just kidding. At the end of Mag's turn, she's going to take 2 points of bleed damage, and let's get that flat check.
Recovery check is a 14. Not going to do it.
Mag continues to bleed as the Grothlet, the badly injured Grothlet, one that took a little bit of damage from that magic missile, and I'm sure had a number of other bad things happen to it. It's going to claw at Mag, and then it's going to claw at Mag again, and then it's going to claw at Mag again. The numbers that I were talking about here are 23, 10, and 7. Those are all misses.
Miss, crit, miss, crit, miss.
Okay, the Grothlet to the northeast of Mag sees that Mag is hard to hit somehow and is going to move away from Mag.
Oh, well then that I would say that probably would be, it probably doesn't trigger an attack of opportunity because it's a Grothlet or something. I don't know.
It does. It's doing a move action without the training of the Barbazio. It is not smart enough to step, so it just slides across towards Isthan, trying to get to Isthan.
How do we feel about a 35 to hit?
I feel bad about a 35. That's a critical hit as Mag bashes the hell out of this Grothlet.
Terrible damage roll. It's only 42 damage.
42 damage. It is still alive, but it does get crushed. But tell me other things that happen with your critical hits, David, please.
Yes, so it's a 2d12, only a 3 and a 5, so it's only 42 damage, but because it's a crit, the crushing rune on the maul results in it becoming clumsy 1, enfeebled 1, and I guess the critical specialization for hammers is that it is knocked prone as well.
Okay, so this thing goes and is knocked down on its side. Its movement obviously gets interrupted. It spends an action to stand up, and now it knows that it can't reach. Yes, what's up?
Oh, I'm used to thinking about how things are prone and they stand up. It triggers an attack of opportunity, but
so it's not going to get away from Mag. So it's just going to strike at Mag with its action this turn. That's a 15 on the die. That could do it. That's a 26.
Yeah, that does hit.
Okay, more stone skin resisted damage. This is 17 points of slashing damage as I rolled a 9 on a d10.
So it's only 12 goes through.
Okay, at the end of that Grothlet's turn, it is now Zoe's Grothlet's turn. What is Zoe's Grothlet going to do?
How far can Zoe's Grothlet move?
They have a move of 20 feet.
All right, Zoe's Grothlet. So it is going. Ao's gonna flick her wrist and send it up to the west. So it is just. It'll be southwest of the very injured Grothlet.
The one that just went.
The one that just went. Correct. I do not seem to be able to move Zoe's Grothlet.
God damn it! I thought I had it. I thought I did it right. I didn't. In fact, I did it wrong.
Well, that would explain some things.
How about now? Probably not.
Now I can move Zoe's Grothlet.
Great. Cool.
And then it is going to, I guess, claw strike all these. I don't know how to see what Zoe's Grothlet can do. I assume it can do a claw strike.
It can do a claw strike.
I see its character sheet.
You can open its character sheet if you want to.
My character sheet, I should say.
That's right. Sorry. No
offense.
offense.
It can do digestive spew. Gross. All right. Well, it's Ao doesn't know that because she hasn't seen it, so she just has it do 2 quick claw strikes at its former friend, the artist formerly known as its friend. That's a 29 to hit.
That will hit its friend.
That will hit its friend, former friend.
R.I.P.
Then how do I damage its friend?
There should just be a damage button right there on the card.
The damage button, I'll do it. Okay. That's a lot of damage to its friend. That's 16 damage.
I'm sorry, also, that was a critical hit on that one, so we're going to do double damage on that. That's actually 32 points of damage.
Hey!
Which is enough for it to explode.
Can Grothlets take Grothlet exploding damage?
They can't. They are immune to it. Isn't that fun?
That feels right. That feels right.
Does that trigger an attack of...
I need everybody to make a fortitude save, please. As another Grothlet just pop! It's just like... as all these Grothlets fall one by one by one by one by one.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm rolling as Zoe's Grothlet. How do I roll as myself?
Everything was going so smoothly until Zoe had a pet Grothlet.
My own Grothlet.
I mean, that's the show, right?
That is the show. Let's start with Mag. Let's go down the line. How did everybody do?
Just occurred to me that our dog is sort of like having a pet Grothlet. It's a critical success for
It
Max.
explodes
Okay,
everywhere.
how did
Second.
Istin do?
28, 16 on the die.
Okay, Trill.
End up with a 28. She's still moving around and feeling gross and getting out of its way, apparently.
And Ao.
20?
Okay, all of you either succeed or critically succeed, so no effect on that. By my math, I think the Zoe's Grothlet still has 1 action.
Do Grothlets have any way to support their new friends? Can it roll performance?
It doesn't have
aid
performance.
Mag,
The
or-
only skill it has is athletics. It also has assurance in athletics. I should have mentioned that.
Oh, you know what? It can... Here's what we're going to do. It's going to shuffle around to flank the other Grothlet with Mag. That's
Okay.
what it's going to do.
Ao's Grothlet moves around to the far side of the Grothlet flanking Mag, and we are now at the top of round 4. Here's the situation as it currently stands. Trill is standing in the hallway. Ao, Istin, and Mag are standing surrounded by fallen Grothlets. Only one of them is still, 1, in control of its body, and 2, alive. It's now Trill's turn.
So Trill's going to take an action to retch to get rid of Sickened.
For sure. Here's the fortitude save. I'm putting it in the chat right now.
Could I make a crazy suggestion that we all just delay and let Zoe take over this one's mind also?
I mean, that's my plan.
Like instead of bashing it more and like decreasing its hit points, let's just like chill out. And I probably should have done that before.
Well, we
But since
couldn't
there's-
because I needed to go. Like,
Oh,
I could
well-
only do 1 at a time.
Right. But we probably should have left all of them alive or been like non-critical striking them to like have a Grothlet army
I
move
feel
around
as
this
though
place,
with the
but-
amount of rule bending that I'm giving this bracelet situation, ending the combat with 2 is fine.
I feel good about that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They could have killed you eventually if we just let them hit you while I took them all over.
I'm bending the rules on this. Like, you have to attune this object to yourself, and I bypassed that. I am the magnanimity that I'm approaching this band with.
I feel like if any character could just attune a bracelet that controls people's minds to herself, it would be Ao. I like
Absolutely.
it. I think it's earned.
Yeah,
I
and I'm not
agree.
trying to overdo it or anything. I'm just realizing in hindsight, like if you see your buddy take over the mind of one of them, you probably just stop bashing the rest, and anyway.
You're a kind dictator.
On the other hand, I like to think the party knows exactly how obnoxious Ao is going to be about this, and maybe having her do it with fewer of them is like sort of a relief to Mag.
I mean, look, I don't want any more pets, if that's what you're getting at.
Let's roll that fortitude save.
I did, but I didn't. It was a failure.
Okay.
Are we really going to do 2 Grothlet pets?
Yes.
Okay. Trill's going to give up the rest of her turn.
Do you want to continue to retch?
Oh, yeah, I can keep retching. Let's do
retching.
that.
Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Keep retching. Keep retching. Knowing you can always
And second
retch
attempt,
some
I think, was good at 24.
That succeeds. Trill manages to clear the sickness as she retches this Grothlet bile out and has one more
Fabulous. And Trill's going to just, I don't know, do her nails.
action. Cool. It is now Ao's turn.
Ao spends 3 actions to turn what is currently an animosity-filled flank into hopefully a friend cuddle puddle by taking over the mind of the middle Grothlet.
That's gross. Let's see what happens. So what do I have to do? I have to make a will save is the story?
That's what we said last time.
Okay. If the creature is a mindless creature of level 3 or lower, this seems like it only affects Grothlets, so why not do it now? It must attempt a DC 20 will save. Here we go. I'm going to do it. That is a 16, which fails. So they're controlled for you for an hour, meaning that this
it's a
combat...
day for friend 1 and an hour for friend 2.
Yes. And here is the last little bit of magnanimity that I'm giving you. This thing, in addition to all the other rules that I've broken to let this happen, is usable only once per day. So... I let you use it twice per day after letting it happen without needing to... Do you get what I'm saying? I'm being so kind.
I actually genuinely don't.
The item says on it that you can do it once per day, but I'm letting you do it twice.
Bracelet.
Yeah.
I see.
So,
okay.
So what that means is that Ao, for an hour, has 2 Grothlet friends. And we have gotten out of that combat.
So should we pick it? Should we head back to town?
With the Grothlet.
Open a bakery?
Down.
I mean, I'm actually almost out of spell slots, so...
It's close to Grothlet.
I tell you what, I still have all my hammers, so I want to keep going.
Can Trill ride a Grothlet?
Potentially.
Ao, seeing Mag's distress, runs in and uses her chromotherapy, a red light emanating from Fraum to try and staunch the bleeding. And the 2 Grothlets lean in to help. They're both wrapping gauze around Mag.
So Ao is able to get that bleeding from the infernal wound to stop before it does too much more to Mag.
Thank you.
And as you are recovering from that bleeding, you're able to look around this room, and you can see that this room looks as though it is used all the time. The walls here, again, covered with these red sigils, angle up to a ceiling 20 feet overhead above you. But the thing that you notice is that there is an elevator, like an elevator that might lead down into a mine shaft at the northern edge of the room.
Ooh.
What do you do?
That's cool. I think Trill's going to go check out the Barbazu's body to begin and do some investigating, do some, checking out of what can be found around the room.
On the Barbazu's body, you see the typical, hell-forged glaive that you would see on these creatures. And aside from the vaguely militaristic garb that it is wearing along with its rusted iron armor, it seems to be pretty much the same as the rest of the bearded devils that you have seen.
No contracts or anything?
You don't see any contracts. It's here to train, and that's it. What are other people doing now?
Ao is dealing with healing Mag and herself a little bit. I don't think anyone else I guess, Troll, you took a little bit. But anyways, Ao's just rapping, and the nurse Grothlets are tending to that while everyone pokes around.
Got it.
Mag, sit still.
And what is Istin doing as Trill investigates this body of this bearded devil, and Ao sets about wrapping gauze around?
I think Istin will sort of look at the elevator and sort of investigate that situation and see what he can see while he's waiting for his turn to get some healing.
And Istin approaches that elevator. You see a mesh door in front of you, like that would slide open to let somebody get into this contraption to move downwards. You look around it, you see pulleys that would hold massive cables around it. And as Istin reaches out towards this grate, he finds that his hand stops moving. And it slides downward along what suddenly reveals itself to be a shimmering orange wall of magical energy. You knock it once, you knock it twice, and you realize the entire pathway forward here is being blocked by some kind of magic that is far beyond anything you can understand. And we will pick up from there next time.
Awesome.
Roots of Ruin is a Tabletop Gold production produced under the Paizo Incorporated Community Use Policy, using trademarks and copyrights owned by Paizo that are covered under that policy. Paizo does not recognize, endorse, or sponsor this project in any way, and we are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. All original characters and content in the Roots of Ruin are the property of Tabletop Gold, and all rights are reserved. We at Tabletop Gold would love to hear from you. On our website, tabletopgold.com, you can learn more about us and our shows, pick up great merch, and connect to the best online community in all of podcasting. Thanks for listening.